Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, on a very special Two Schmoes show, the role of the infamous Orion will be played by a sound-alike, who may be George Clooney, but we don't know. Are we pulling this kind of celebrity cameo for ratings?
No, I'm not.
Maybe.
I'm here.
You're here,
Yeah.
and I may or may
Starring as himself.
as himself. You know, I had an idea for an episode of the Two Schmoes show, like back in college, where I wanted to parody the Full House theme, but just doing like
Okay.
the Two Schmoes version of it.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is, I don't have the saxophone to be playing and to record something like that, so never got done. I'm the
What's
Smith
up now?
Orion, and I'm
I'm
a
trying to
Schmo.
remember.
What's up?
Oh, it's just YouTube is a hellish landscape.
Duh. Every social media website is nowadays, dude.
If you look up Full House theme, it just gives the Fuller House stuff.
Nice. I really don't like
It's very disappointing.
the Full House franchise.
I honestly haven't seen that much of it.
Really?
Yeah.
I used to watch a little bit of it, like I can't remember the full story of this, but a super religious family member go to their house, and the only thing they would deem appropriate on television would be Full House. So I was stuck watching Full House.
Mm-hmm.
And as you can imagine, I hate Full House now.
Yep.
Full House can burn. In fact, right now I'm living Full House. So, Kyril, anything interesting happening in your life lately?
In my life, not really.
Fair enough.
I take that back. Actually, I did. I watched the Star Wars Visions this morning.
How was it?
It was very enjoyable. There's some hits and some misses, but on the whole, for something that is just like all releasing as one sort of anthology, basically, I mean, it's basically for free as far as I'm considering it. You're not going out and getting Disney Plus for it. It's really good. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Cool.
very pleasant to watch through it. It goes through some really fun concepts around how the Sith and the Jedi dynamics are and how the Force is viewed, and sort of looking at it through a different lens,
Mm.
and the incorporation of the more uh, anime Japanese stereotypical cultural elements. It hits really well. It just fits into the existing Star Wars universe aesthetic in a really effective way.
I too saw an anthology series that was not very good in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
It was a little known series called Marvel What If.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I still haven't seen any of it.
I finished that. It's
Mm-hmm.
I give it a 5 out of 10.
5 out of 10, really.
Yeah, if I'm going to be honest, What If it, I was almost going to rant about Full House again. What If is not needed, and at its best, it's one good Doctor Strange story in a sea
Mhm.
of just retelling movies.
Yep.
And at its worst, it's a giant fucking Funko Pop commercial.
Mm. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, no, I can't forgive it for that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I, I'm a fan of the What If comics, and the What If comics are really good.
Yep.
Often dark, macabre, all that good stuff. Problem is, I don't think families would exactly latch on to What If concepts. So I definitely get why they had to tone it down a lot. But at the end of the day, I felt like I saw like every episode as a commercial for a Funko Pop that would eventually come out of said alternate universe version of this character. Just was not good. And then like for the last episode, they try to combine all the stories into one mega story.
Yep.
Yeah, it does not work. What If
Yeah.
is trash.
Yeah, that is kind of weird. I thought they would just keep them like as their own things. I think that's what works with the Visions one, is that they don't make any pretense about them trying to connect together in any way or even tie into the existing Star Wars universe. They're all very self-contained, and that's just kind of what makes them work in
As they
their
should.
just, yeah, they're just their own thing, and
Yeah.
that works. Like you have I would think, okay, so like there's like four of them that I would highly recommend the above the others.
Yeah.
The Duel, which is the one that has the gorgeous black and white animation that looks like charcoal drawn almost. Absolutely deserves being the first episode. It is gorgeous just to see what they did with it.
Okay.
And it plays on some really cool concepts. I don't want to give any of it away for people who might want to see it because it is still pretty new, but the presentation of it is really good, and it's like it does that what if kind of a thing without being so blatant about it, you know?
Yeah. I got you.
Yep. Then the Village Bride and the Ninth Jedi start to look into how the Jedi and the Force are represented. And the Ninth Jedi in particular is the one where they show it in all the trailers for it with the scene on the ice that's almost shot for shot the same as what Rey does in the trailer where she like cuts the speeder in half thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's that one. And it is all, not especially original in it because I mean, there's already been so much Star Wars stuff. But they do this really cool thing in it where the like internal morals of the lightsaber wielders are represented by the colors of the lightsabers.
I
And it's
dig
really
it.
cool for this very clear visual representation of where somebody really stands.
Interesting. I like it.
It's really good. It does this really cool part where it shows it very clearly shows visually the difference between the Jedi and the Sith and when it doesn't. It's very nicely done.
I dig it like a
Uh,
spigot.
the next one, The Village Bride,
Yeah.
is gorgeous animation, and it's again the same sort of idea. It plays with the concepts of what the Jedi are and what the Force is and how it's represented, and it's just really good to watch. And then La Pinocho does a really good job of showing the tensions between like the outer planets and why they are going to the Imperial side, because like a lot of times they just don't have a choice.
Yeah.
That's kind of a running theme through it, is that the what is it, the Confederation or whatever the hell it's called isn't really present at all, because that's kind of how it is. It's this big centralized thing in the middle and they don't go outside it,
Oh, so
and
like
it's
the
all
United
happening
States
outside it,
government.
kind of.
Ha.
It also does a really good job of showing the mesh between Japanese cultural elements and the Star Wars universe in a really appealing way.
I mean, I'm all for it, man. Star Wars, again, I felt is getting stale. So if you can just put a new team of creatives in Star Wars that aren't adhering to like the fucking Bible of Star Wars or something like that, I'm all
Yep.
for it.
It's really good. It's very refreshing.
Love it. Meanwhile, what if is bad? I cannot forgive what if at the moment.
Yeah.
Well, like, okay, so like they have a Watu, the Watcher, right?
Mhm.
And a big thing of a Watu, the Watcher, is he can only watch. Hence the name, the Watcher. He has an oath. He
Yep.
cannot do anything but watch. You want to know what the last episode is called?
What's that?
What if the Watcher broke his vow?
It's a bit on the nose.
Yeah, and like there in the comics they imply there's consequences to if a Watu started interfering with shit.
Mhm.
Yeah, no. In the MCU he's just watching, just doing it, not telling anybody if there's consequences or not to what he does.
Yep.
Yeah.
I kind of get the same vibe from the more recent Eternals trailers.
Really? Oh yeah.
Because that's kind of the same idea. It's like, oh, we're guardians of Earth, but only from this one specific thing, and we're not allowed to interfere outside of that. and I guess like the whole point is that they're starting to interfere outside of that.
Yes.
And it gets kind of messy, you know.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? I'm gonna be honest. When they started doing like cosmic stuff in Marvel, I was afraid they were immediately going to go down this route. So I'm kind of
Hmm.
surprised it's taken us this long to get into the weird cosmic stuff, and them just not giving any exact reason why all this stuff is happening just now.
Yep. So I can say this because it was in a trailer. Actually, they do kind of say why in Eternals. The idea is that when the blip ends and all the people come back,
Yeah,
apparently I don't remember what the actual like terminology is, but that massive resurgence or like all the energy of all of the people coming back did something or awoken something or something like that.
good,
So like there's an actual reason that they give, thankfully.
good. In Shang-Chi, the after credit scene,
Mm-hmm.
can I spoil a little bit of that?
Yeah, go ahead.
So they have the 10 rings, which is pretty much like a weapon,
Mm-hmm.
and Wong takes it
Yeah,
back.
is it what you can see in the trailers that they're using to like sort of spar?
Yeah, sort of. I'm pretty sure that's it. I didn't watch any of the trailers, but like they wear like a gauntlet.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay,
that's what they show.
that's the 10 rings.
Yep.
So Wong comes by and he's like, I want to go check out what these 10 rings are all about because no one has ever, had a chance to look at them. And they look at them and it's a beacon and it's calling out to someone. And like
Mhm.
a big thing is that now that Shang-Chi is using them, the beacon's activated and something's coming. And I really want this to relate to Galactus really bad. Like a Galactus beacon. Galactus, yummy food here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if they're going to start like saying like the snap is really waking up all the cosmic shit, I'm all for it.
Mhm.
Let's go. So,
I am concerned though with
yes.
the it what are they called? The Eternals being like too strong
Oh, they are too strong.
because the one dude just looks like actual Superman.
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah.
Just be
Just like
glad the Sentry's not in yet.
the Sentry.
Should I explain?
I'm googling it currently.
So, the Sentry is a comics character who
Mm.
is basically Superman with split personality disorder.
Okay.
One personality basically being Superman, the other being a supervillain.
Okay.
And depending on pretty much your time of the day, you can get either or. And a big thing in the Marvel universe is they keep putting him into comas, knocking him out so that the bad one can't come out because it's not worth it to have the good one come out because the bad one's going to come out eventually.
Okay.
Like
Makes sense, I guess.
yeah, he's a good character. I like the Sentry.
Mm.
Sorry, I can't sell you on him right away.
Why is there so many aliases?
For the Sentry,
Yes.
he's supposed to be like going in and out of like hiding throughout the years. I think that's why.
Apparently, he is also the Silver Surfer.
Is he?
According to the Marvel database, Silver Surfer is one of the Sentry's aliases.
I'm scared of the Marvel database sometimes. Like it's very impressive because I'm almost certain there's no human being that can remember everything on that fucking database.
He's the groovy guardian of good.
The Groovy Guardian. Yes.
Can't make this shit up.
Not unless you're a comic book writer.
No.
Do
So
we?
where were you the day Facebook stood still?
I was at work enjoying my life and being productive.
It was I'm not on Facebook, so it was just one of those things where I was just like I saw a bunch of people talking about it, and I was like, "What? Facebook is down? What do you mean Facebook is down?"
How does Facebook
Like
go down?
so apparently, this is hilarious. Apparently, what happened is there was basically yeah, I guess it hasn't really been disclosed how it happened, but the address book that tells the Facebook site and outside sites where to find information within Facebook servers
Mm-hmm.
was basically deleted entirely.
Amazing.
So you could like get to Facebook, but then it couldn't find any of the stuff that it needed to find. And it was the same way with like stuff embedded in other websites. Is they would be making these requests for like comment sections, you know.
Yeah.
And because the address book wasn't there, it was just pinging into nothing constantly and coming back with nothing and causing these other sites to slow down too in the same way.
I love it.
I guess it was so bad. This is like such a systemic problem with Facebook. Is that because of course all the Facebook developers use Facebook stuff to do their job, right?
I'd
So
hope so.
they communicate with Messenger, and apparently a lot of the like physical location stuff is integrated into Facebook's main systems,
Okay.
to the point where the people who needed to get to the physical location where the servers were to fix them couldn't get in the building because the doors wouldn't open.
You kidding me?
I'm not. It was apparently that tightly integrated that they couldn't even get in the fucking doors of their building.
Zuckerberg deserved that.
Yep.
Like, I'm all for it, including technology into stuff. But if you are going overboard to that degree, you deserve inconvenience.
Yeah, it's just pure, oh, what's the word? It's shit.
Pure shit. You're right.
Yeah. No, I've lost the word for it.
Antiquated.
No. It's like pride, but not pride.
Not pride.
It's like the same idea though. You know, it's just so overly confident that their stuff is the best stuff that they didn't account for the circumstance of what happens when our stuff breaks.
So at my job, we have a thing called Workplace, which is basically a
Mm-hmm.
Facebook server exclusive to whatever job you're working at.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a nice place to post pictures of your pet, get them to meet your coworkers or whatnot. And because Facebook was down, our Workplace server was down.
Yep.
And it was like the first time in a while I got to question why we even had a Workplace server. And I kind of realized this is me being super cynical, by the way, and this no way relates to my observations of my coworkers. But the idea of Workplace as a service kind of implies Facebook knows how addictive their service is, that to keep people on track at work, they provide like a little tapering of it with like a separate service just for the workplace.
Yep.
Kind of fucked up.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah.
It was also really good getting to see various social medias try to dunk on Facebook in their own ways.
It was savage.
Which one was it? I'm trying to remember what Twitch said. Because
Oh, yeah, they were next.
like, literally 24 hours later, Twitch got hit with a massive hack.
Yeah. Wasn't like everything was revealed?
So to a point, but they tweeted out Facebook down, obligatory meme here, like button below. And then they got hacked.
Great.
Right now, as far as anyone knows, there hasn't been any user personal data that's been leaked.
Okay.
The main things that were leaked are Twitch's source code, which is like all of the actual code that their website is built on,
Yes.
and financials that shows how much Twitch is reporting in earnings from the top, I think it was the top 10,000 streamers, which makes up basically like the top 1% of streamers on the site.
Yes.
But as far as anyone knows, there's not been like personal like credit card numbers or login info that's been leaked. But it's still a good idea to change all that stuff, you know.
On the regular.
The leakers apparently also said that this first one was like part 1 of 3 or something like that.
Oh shit, we're getting a trilogy?
There might be personal data that comes out of it later.
Oh.
But I saw some really amusing conversations on the Wen Show, which is the Linus Tech Tips podcast that Linus Sebastian does with Luke, who runs their streaming and video hosting site Floatplane. And they were talking about how basically, even if you have all of Twitch's code, you probably don't want to be Twitch, because dealing with that kind of a volume as Twitch has is massively expensive.
Oh yeah, dude.
So like you could go make a Twitch copy now, but you probably don't want to because you can't afford to.
I don't even think Twitch can afford to at this point.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, they get bought by Amazon, right?
Yeah,
That means
exactly.
they're not making their money off of money. They're making their money off of data at that point.
Yeah. Yeah.
It also pointed out how bad it is to work as a streamer on Twitch,
How bad is it?
because basically, even in the top 1%, there's no way that all of those people are making a living off of just Twitch,
Duh.
even though some of them are full time. So there's like this perception, multiple perceptions that have definitely been kind of easily dismissed at this point. The first being that Twitch isn't in any way profitable. It's not. The amount of money that you get off of Twitch versus something like a YouTube video, given the amount of hours that you do on it, is completely skewed. Because for a YouTube video, you can post one video and you get, what was the comparison? It was like something like $5, say, per hour of 10,000 people watching.
Okay.
On Twitch, you get like $3.50 per hour of 10,000 people watching. But
So,
for the YouTube video,
yeah.
you post it once. For Twitch, you have to keep going for hours and hours and hours past that. So it ends up being really unfavorable when you look at like a dollars per hour of content made comparing Twitch to YouTube.
Interesting.
Yeah. It also really pretty clearly dispelled the idea that the titty streamers were taking over Twitch, because they're not at all.
So wait, so this is money Twitch is giving directly to the streamers. There's nothing to go with donations or bits or anything like that.
So bits are included in this.
Okay.
Donations are not.
Okay.
Donations, any sort of outside payment processing is not included in this. This is just money that goes through Twitch's hands before it goes into a streamer's pocket.
Got it.
Yep. Also, it might not include ad revenue, but Twitch takes something like 95% of ad revenue anyways, so it doesn't really matter.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's something awful like that.
What's the point of even streaming on Twitch at this point?
So donations is the big one, because that is money straight in your pocket.
What about Patreon though?
Patreon is also effective, but less of a Twitch thing because it's a monthly subscription.
True.
Yeah.
That's still wild.
Yeah. It also shows how like comparatively little certain Twitch streamers make compared to other forms of online personalities. Like Shroud.
Yeah.
I think he was in the top 3 or 5 or something like that, and he was in the single digits millions of dollars over like an 18-month period, and he's basically the top.
Twitch streamers, they're poor, just like us.
Yeah.
God.
But I mean, that was the big takeaway for a lot of people. It seems like the right takeaway to me is that 99.5% of Twitch streamers don't make enough money just to like meet standard cost of living for a month, minimum wage even.
Yeah. My thing is, this kind of makes sense with just how I've seen the media industry. Anybody who produces content, even though they're like they're the engine for like any ad revenue source for a platform.
Yep.
Never paid as much as they should be. And that even goes into professional media.
I always find it really strange that like, okay, you're in a corporate environment.
Yes.
I can get not wanting to be perfectly crystal transparent with your earnings over a certain period of time, because it's frowned upon. And if you do that, you release that information, you could make your bosses unhappy, say. But if you're an independent content creator, I don't get why these people aren't more open about what they're making. You have these people who will religiously be like, oh no, don't get into streaming, don't get into content creation, it's terrible, it takes up all your time and you don't get that much money, blah blah blah, and then they just don't give any numbers to show it.
Yeah.
And like having these numbers is just like, oh yeah, that really sucks, I don't want to do that.
I think it's NDA.
It's not though. You don't have an MDA with YouTube or Twitch or any of those people that says you can't talk about your finances. And because you don't have to give away like, oh, I'm gaming the system in this way. It's just saying, yeah, over this month, like, because these people are coworkers.
Yeah.
It's no different. I've seen people talk about this in like esports casting, where they are pretty good about disclosing their pay to each other, because you see people get burned all the time because they either go under and they don't mean to, and somebody gets their position lost because they are asking for a higher amount, or the other way, where somebody goes too low and they end up getting cut by like half of what they should be making. And either way, it's fucked up. But because these people are talking about it and they're not like trying to hide what they're making, it can be pretty clear as to what the going rate is at certain tiers of performance.
Good point.
Yeah.
Also normalize that in the just regular workplace. Talk about your paychecks.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, dude. What's your boss going to do? Fire you for talking about your paycheck?
Pretty sure they legally can't.
Nope.
I have to check. That's like the kind of thing that can't be disclosed under NDA. There's a lot of stuff like NDAs are a lot of times super predatory.
Oh yeah, dude. I was under NDA.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and a lot like illegal kind of predatory. But you are an individual and they're a company, so you don't feel like you have any choice, and you don't feel like you have any way to act legally to counter it.
Yeah.
What was a recent one? There's one that I was hearing about from an esports organization that goes by the name of Heroic. They're a European group.
Okay.
And it was alleged that they had required their players or requested their players to sign some non-disclosure agreement related to, I think it was that this is specifically related to accusations that had come out that the organization was aware that their players were cheating and they did nothing about it.
Nice.
And the claim was that they had basically, I don't know if they requested or they forced, but in some capacity, they wanted the other players that weren't involved with the cheating to not disclose anything that they knew about the cheating, or else they would be like fined and released, basically. And that was super illegal.
That is super
illegal. You
illegal.
can't have an NDA based on not disclosing something illegal. Otherwise, it happened. That's just not how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what we're saying, guys, is just stay the fuck off the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make your business on the internet.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just go whore yourself out like God intended. Oldest profession for a reason. So, what else do we have in the news?
Kraft Heinz has said that people must get used to higher food prices. How much did they make last year?
Probably not enough, and that's why they raised their prices.
Kraft Heinz made $26 billion in annual sales as of 2020.
Is that the gross or just the...
I believe that's gross.
Okay. Well, yeah, Heinz is gross. Thank you for noticing.
Yeah. $26 billion in net sales.
That's ridiculous. Do you like Heinz ketchup?
Yeah. I prefer it.
I'm not a fan.
But I think it's mostly just because that's kind of what I've always had, so it's just what I'm used to.
For me, Heinz is too sugary. I gave up ketchup like a while back. If you could not tell this weekend, I'm a thin boy now. And ketchup is one of those things that I gave up to help get me to be a thin boy.
Here's some good numbers.
Cool.
There's a story from, doesn't matter. Kraft Heinz reports improved financial performance in Q1 2021.
Ooh.
So they released their financials April 29th, reflecting the quarter that ended March 27th. reporting 6.4 billion in net sales for the first quarter of 2021, a 3.9% increase compared to the same period of 2020, and a net sales increase of 2.5% just within the US. Company reported a net income attributable to common shareholders at $563 million, a 48.9% increase year over year.
Nice.
But, those executives are clearly starving, so they gotta up prices globally.
Dude, if they have to downsize a yacht, what the fuck are they even going to do for Christmas?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, whoa. So Kraft Heinz is in Holland, Michigan, I'm seeing?
Are they? I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, but I'm seeing on their jobs careers page, they hire all over the world, which is a little odd.
Oh, well, yeah. They're not all in just one place,
Yeah,
so makes sense.
I don't know. Don't know how I feel about that.
So, like, the company I work for, also based in Michigan,
Oh, they're
but they
based.
have locations.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, their headquarters are in Michigan, but we have locations pretty much globally because there are different regulatory bodies in different regions that have different requirements. So sometimes, because of that, it can be better to have physical locations in those places rather than trying to do a one size fits all kind of approach.
Yeah.
So I'm not too surprised by that.
Yeah, I guess so.
What careers do they have? I'm curious now.
I want to be the ketchup taster.
Why is it when I click careers, they have apply as the last option in the list?
They really want dedicated people. If you can get through that list, you can make it there. What's their
Oh,
students and
yeah.
graduates page?
Yeah, I was seeing that too. I'm not sure. It looks like they offer
Internships,
scholarships.
MBAs.
Yeah. Management trainee programs.
By management trainee, they mean you're going to be the manager of the ketchup bottling assembly line.
Mm-hmm.
Why join Kraft Heinz? Join our team if you love setting and delivering against personal goals and massively over delivering. About ketchup. You bring positive energy to every interaction and project you're part of, my bad. Being hungry yet humble comes naturally to you. I don't want to they don't want to brag, but they're just like the best company in the world, don't you know?
Yeah.
Working hard and being driven is what's gotten you to where you are.
I'm surprised they're using. I'm gonna send you this picture. Oh, is it not gonna let me? All right. This is why screen grabs exist.
Okay.
Heinz, you can't hide this. I don't know where this is. I don't know what this is supposed to be. This is probably coffee, actually, but it doesn't look appetizing.
Oh,
That
the big
vat
black
of
thing?
black goo does not look appealing.
Do
I don't
they
know
do
what they're
coffee?
making. Apparently, I'm sure they do everything.
No, let's try and figure out what that black goo is because that's a little disorienting. Heinz Kraft products.
Here is their brands. ABC, which
Okay.
I guess is coffee.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I've seen that.
If it's coffee, I can live with that. Wow, they do a lot of.
Oh, Maxwell House. Maxwell House. That's coffee.
Oh, never mind then.
Yeah, that's pretty large.
Maxwell House. Wait a second.
But yeah, those poor Kraft Heinz executives just need more money.
Okay, so if this is what the coffee shop I'm thinking of, I'm about to throw a fit. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it?
I'm pretty sure they're the blue
Yes, but
ones.
so for all of you who don't know, I have a favorite set of commercials for a brand that is no longer out there. It is a Wilkins Coffee brand. Have you ever heard of that, Kyril?
I don't think so.
Have you ever seen
Wilkins?
commercials?
No, I don't think so. It doesn't sound familiar, at least.
Okay, so Wilkins Coffee was a brand of coffee, believe it or not. Um, and you know who did their commercials?
Who's that?
A young upstart by the name of Jim Henson.
Hmm.
Yeah. So Jim Henson goes and does these commercials, and they're the funniest thing ever because they just let him do whatever he wanted, and it's literally just
Mhm.
Muppets murdering each other for coffee. Let me see if I can find the commercials for you. They're beautiful. I can't believe you haven't heard about the Wilkins Coffee commercials.
I think I found some here.
Black and white?
Yep.
Yes. Good sir. They're just extremely violent, and I love them for it.
It is. It's literally, do you want our coffee? No. Hoots person, do you want our coffee?
Points the gun right at the camera. I think Maxwell House is the brand that Wilkins Coffee was sold out to.
Yeah, it looks like it. That's what I was saying on the like suggested stuff.
Damn you, Kraft. Heinz, you bring back Wilkins Coffee, please.
Oh, Wilkins and Wontkins.
Yes.
That's
Dude, okay, I'm about to contact this company and ask them to bring back Wilkins Coffee commercials. They made a very powerful enemy today. A guy with too much time on the internet. Contact us. There we go. Thank you. They don't have like one of those little comment boxes where you can just leave your basic contact information and just leave a little like anonymous thing. They just give you an email. It's like, do it.
no way to tell them to bring back the Murder Muppets.
Bring back the Murder Muppets, please. Oh well. Okay. We'll live. What else is in the news, Kyril? Besides,
I'm kind of on the fence about talking about this just because I don't want to give these idiots more mind share. It's just so dumb.
we can just make fun of
So
them.
dumb. Oh yeah, we will. So there's an article that the BBC posted about why these US workers won't get vaccinated.
Oh,
And it really
fun.
frustrates me that they're giving these people even like the time of day, let alone a platform to talk their bullshit beliefs.
I mean, it's just fair. I mean, let me put it this way. If their beliefs had any bearing, this platform would help persuade people past dumb Facebook post. You know what I mean?
I don't necessarily agree.
Fair
I think
enough.
if they want to do coverage about the new vaccination requirements that are put in place by the US government, they should talk about those and then bring on people who are, actually educated. Like, okay, if you had somebody who was protesting for Holocaust, you wouldn't give Holocaust 2 person the headline and then as the second paragraph bring somebody else in to explain why the Holocaust was bad.
You know what? Respect that analogy. I understand what you're talking about. I agree.
Yeah. It just seems really like, oh, we don't really care about what, because like honestly, how many people are going to read past the headline? And if they're going to read past the headline, how many of them are actually going to read to the second half of the article that talks about why these people are actually just completely wrong?
You're not wrong. You know what this reminds me of as like a great segue analogy?
What's that?
You know how we were just watching those Wilkins coffee commercials?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, do you want the COVID vaccine? No, I don't want it. Shoots him in the head.
Yes.
Yes.
Are you listening, Biden? It's $1 million idea.
You know, That's strictly North Korea talking right there, but hell yeah. Didn't North Korea do that with like the first few people that got infected with COVID?
Who actually knows? I'm sure there's some rumors going around that said that, but who actually knows?
Yeah. Xi Jinping, hook me
I
up.
like given like we know the kind of approach that China took, and I'm sure North Korea does pretty strongly follow a lot of China's lead on those kinds of things. So force these people to not be able to leave their homes, absolutely. And if they happened to die in the process of that, eh? Shrug emoji.
Shrug emoji. So, I found NorthKorea.com.
Oh yeah.
Would you
I
like?
think we've. I feel like I've been to it before.
It's really weird and bizarre. Korean Friendship Association.
Yeah, DPR.
This is
Existed in Spain. What?
yeah. Isn't this weird?
Yeah.
I'm not sure who made this.
Someone in Spain, apparently.
The Korean Friendship Association. Who do you think they are? About us, please tell me more. About us. The KFA was originally registered in on November 13th in the year 2000, but existed in Spain since 1990. What the hell? So
They
is
actually call Kim Jong Un plucky.
yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
This is bizarre. I'm getting off this website.
Mm-hmm.
I'm now.
Let's talk some movies.
Oh yeah, we had movies come out.
There's movies going out.
Things are slowly
Do
getting
you
back to normal.
do you plan to see Dune? Curious.
No.
No.
Um.
Did you see the original one? I guess that's the question, right?
No. But
Yeah.
my opinions about this movie have been made. I'm not watching it to protest Hans Zimmer. Did
Okay, I feel like I'm missing something.
oh did you not hear about Hans Zimmer throwing a hissy fit about this movie?
No, I didn't.
So Hans Zimmer got called out, pretty much saying this is not a
Mhm.
good score done by him,
Right.
and he got real pissy about it, like real pissy about it. And then some people in his production company started speaking out about how Hans Zimmer kind of runs the production company kind of shit and mistreats his workers. So that's
Yeah,
where
about
we're
that.
at. And considering I'm not much of a Hans Zimmer fan myself, kind of don't want to support the man.
I wouldn't call myself a Hans Zimmer fan, but I do like and enjoy some of his specific works. I mean, he is talented, right?
He's a German Debussy, and I mean that not in a great one-to-one way. But, you know, who am I to say? As a composer, my works haven't been featured in a million movies.
Mm.
What about you? What's your opinions on Dune?
I haven't seen the first one. I'm probably gonna see this one just because it looks fine. It is the right kind of high concept sci-fi stuff that I like.
The thing is, I do want to see it a little bit because I just want to see Zendaya in something that's not Marvel related because I think she's actually a good actress.
Yeah, she definitely is.
Yeah, and I want to see her in other things. I want to explore what she's like as an actor,
Mhm.
an actress, really. But
It's unfortunate that we're starting to see how thin some of these comic book actor type actors are,
you mean like
like with
Jeremy
Chris
Renner?
Pratt.
Oh,
I was just saying with Chris Pratt, how he like He did uh, Parks and Rec,
Yep.
which is fine.
Yep.
He was being goofy and kind of himself in that, which has worked. And he kind of did the same thing in Guardians of the Galaxy. And that was fine. And then he started to go into these more serious things, and it's been not fine at all.
Yeah, I feel like he was trying to do like the Adam Sandler transition where like you go from comedy to more serious stuff as you get older, but he just
Yeah,
wasn't ready for it.
it's just not working.
Yeah. That being said, I also fear that he may be typecasted and now it's just kind of hard for anybody to see him in that role and directors aren't giving him his fair share.
Yep. Yep. Well, I mean, he's not doing any favors for himself with his acting.
Oh yeah.
He only. It's very much him. You get Chris Pratt because you want Chris Pratt, not because you want an actor, right?
Yeah.
You want a specific actor.
I do hope that his hardcore role as Mario in the Mario movie does bring out his acting chops more.
Apparently, the recent social media thing was satire, which is both relieving and also kind of disappointing at the same time.
What does that mean? Like, how was it
Did
satire?
you hear the normal voice thing or normal now?
No.
So I'm pretty sure this has been shown to be satire at this point. It's not true, but there's a post that was circling around on Twitter that was allegedly from an interview with Chris Pratt that says Chris Pratt has confirmed that he will play the role of Mario in his normal voice, stating Mario isn't Italian anymore. He's normal now.
Oh, that's how you ended with a horse head in your bed for writing articles like
Mm-hmm.
that.
I think this is a massive leap forward in the representation of normal people, a demographic that's been incredibly neglected recently.
You know what? He's right. Normal people aren't represented right.
Okay, yeah, this is definitely satire. Ever the perfectionist, though, Pratt says he's been working on his Mario voice for up to 6 hours a day to prepare for the role. Quote, it's mainly just me talking to myself about how much I hate animals and the gays, he admitted.
Is that because Chris Pratt's like a real hardcore Christian?
Yes, it is.
That's hilarious. I feel bad.
Speaking of though, I saw the Bond movie.
Go on.
And it does not deserve this certified fresh badge. These people are off their fucking rocker.
Tell me more, good sir.
I was okay. How do these people get let in the door? Rotten Tomatoes needs to update who gets to be a critic here.
Oh, should you be a critic on
Great.
Rotten Tomatoes?
Uh, no, because it'd just be me shitting on people all the time.
I feel like if I had that power, I would personally attack celebrities that I just don't like.
What? Okay, this person did not watch the movie. There's
Okay.
no way they watched the movie. This is one line. No Time to Die retires old man Bond in reverent yet melancholy fashion. That is the biggest pile of shit ever. They literally have him die in a fiery explosion from an airstrike. Literally.
Spoilers.
I don't give a shit. It's a bad movie. Don't go and watch it. Literally in a goddamn airstrike. And that is somehow melancholy.
It depends on your opinions on airstrikes, I guess.
That is so frustrating. No Time to Die does for the James Bond franchise what The Last Jedi sought to do for Star Wars. No, it doesn't.
What? The Last Jedi is not the kind of film you want to be comparing your movies to. And
I'm having a headache now. This is so frustrating. I honestly don't think these people watched this movie critically.
no, I think they just rather got their reviews bought and just copy
It
pasted whatever
sounds
the
like it.
publicist wanted. Yeah.
As the I'm very frustrated now.
Are you now?
Yes. An emotional core. No Time to Die sucks. And it is patently obvious how bad it is. There's a good movie somewhere in there, but what they made is not a good movie.
Tell me more, good sir.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go into spoilers because fuck it. Don't watch it. If you want to see it, wait for it to come out on DVD and save your money. Don't go to the movie theater and spend too much on a couple of tickets and overpriced food and drinks. Just wait because it's not going to be any better on the big screen than it is going to be at home because of how poorly they shot the action scenes. There's two of like the five action scenes that are shot so darkly that you can't see what the fuck is happening.
Okay.
You can't see the action in an action movie in almost half of it because they're in one of them is on a boat that's sinking. So all the power goes out and you just have these red floodlights. So it's just red short wavelength lights that makes everything look fucking blurry when it's on that big of a screen. And the other one is in a tower of a defunct military base where there's also no lights. So it's just all dark shadows and you can't see shit.
This is also the Bond film with the Billie Eilish theme, right?
I actually don't know. The theme that they had was actually pretty good. It
Okay.
wasn't particularly like it wasn't exceptional like Adele's was for Skyfall, um, but it more than served its purpose. And the like who I'm curious who because usually almost every single time somebody does the opening title credits that is like separate from everything else,
Okay.
which is why they're allowed to have them be kind of uniquely animated. And it's been the same person for a while, so I'm curious. Maurice Binder. Who are you? Yeah,
Who?
so he's the same guy who's been doing them like since this. Oh no, he died. So this is just wrong. Why are they talking about Maurice Binder?
Good question.
So they're just wrong there. Point is, it's serviceable. It's fine.
Okay.
On like the scale of uh all title sequences compared to each other versus all Bond movies compared to each other, this title sequence is higher up compared to other title sequence than the movie is compared to the other movies, if that makes sense.
Okay.
But it's still not exceptional. Apparently, there's also a post-credit scene. I didn't stay for it.
You fool. Maybe they revealed that.
Oh no! So this is fuck you, Newsweek. Go kill your. I'm sorry. That's too much. I'm frustrated. There's not a post-credit scene. They're just lying in their preview.
Oh shit. Okay.
No Time to Die. What that post-credits moment means is there a post-credit scene? No. Fuck yourself, Newsweek. You're garbage tier news, and you don't deserve to be on the internet.
Everybody, I swear, I'm trying to reclaim the show from this angry man, but.
I'm so angry. Like I'm honestly probably gonna have to write like an actual paper to like calm myself down and just get this out of my head because it's so bad.
Okay.
There's such a good chance of a movie there, and they just fucked it up.
Are we talking worse or better than the Schneider cut?
Worse.
Damn.
Now, I'd rather watch the Snyder cut again than this because there is something redeeming about the Schneider cut in that you can watch it and you can appreciate it for the changes that they made. And Schneider being the gigantic self-centered prick that he is, that he thinks that a 4-hour movie in 4:3 is in any way acceptable. That alone is novelty enough to ride on. This is just so dull. There's nothing about it specifically that is good. If you want action, there's better, okay. If you want to see a Bond movie, watch Casino Royale. Because there's nothing that this movie does that Casino Royale doesn't do 2 times better. Its action is tighter, its writing is tighter, its cinematography is tighter, its acting is tighter. The whole movie is just this, but better.
Okay, so it's watered down.
It's not even watered down, it's just phoned in.
Hmm.
And the way that they present, so the big problem with it is that Rami Malek's character, the villain in it, sucks. I went to see it with my parents, and I asked them at the end of it, what does Rami Malek want? What is he going for? What is he trying to do? They couldn't tell me. I asked them, what was his character's name? They couldn't tell me. He is so unforgettable are so forgettable that you literally can't even remember what his name is because it doesn't matter. He's there, stuff happens, and then he dies, and it doesn't matter. And they say his name like twice, and I guess you're expected to just remember it from the 2 times they say it. And it's just dumb. It's so dumb.
Okay.
And also, they completely change the way that the characters interact with each other. That was one of the things that I had here. The tone is completely different. And they've had tone changes in Bond movies in the past, but they've usually always been relatively similar from one to the next when it's the same people doing the same thing. If you change an actor, it makes sense that you can have it change how that person is going to interact with other people because it's a different person. But
Okay.
when these are the same people, having their motivations be completely different than what they were in universe not 4 years ago makes no sense. You have one person who goes from being anti big government, we have to stop this because it's a massive overreach, and that's not what we do. We're about making small changes that have big impacts, not overreach, to I've designed a biochemical weapon that targets people based on their DNA, and the entire goal of it is that we can put it into literally everybody, and it won't hurt them. It'll just go for the person that we want. And that's somehow a natural progression for someone to go through. So I'm done. It's not worth seeing.
Are you okay?
I'll put it this way. If a movie's bad enough that I'm picking up my phone to take notes on why it sucks, it's fail.
This was in the theaters?
Yes, this was in the theater. I was picking up my phone and opening up my notes app to scratch down some short like spark notes about what was wrong with it so I could remember.
I hope
Because
you didn't.
the movie is so forgettable, I would not have remembered what was bad about it.
Ouch. So, I found news.
What's that?
You know how there's that Willy Wonka prequel coming out, right?
No, actually.
There's a Willy Wonka prequel coming out.
But why?
Because money. And we got our first look at Willy Wonka.
Timothy Chalamet?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Interesting.
I don't mind the design of the outfit. I don't like Timothy Chalamet as Wonka. Too pretty.
I guess and it feels like they're very clearly going for like a younger Johnny Depp kind of look.
Yeah. Well, I feel like they're trying to go like halfway and half and half because I get a little Gene
Yeah.
Wilder with the hair, but
Mm-hmm.
don't care for it. No.
I just think the whole thing just sounds kind of unnecessary.
Nah. Dude, how else are we going to know how he smuggled a whole nation of people into a different country?
I was gonna make a joke about the what it's called now. My mind's blank. It's been filled with rage towards James Bond.
By the way, apparently Skyfall is trending on Twitter.
I don't doubt it. It's a better movie.
What else is on Twitter? Oh yeah, people
Curious.
are mad at Kotaku because Kotaku started an article saying that the new Metroid Dread game that just came out was already running perfectly fine on emulators.
Not working fine on other places.
No, just they're promoting an emulator in one of their articles.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So what else is new, huh? How about that Bond movie? Am I right? I was thinking about gathering the gang up and going to see that new James Bond, but this chiral person has kind of influenced my opinion a little bit.
Oh no, I'm an influencer.
I think I might go see that Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage.
You'd probably enjoy it more, honestly.
Honest,
I would have preferred to have seen Carnage just because tonally it makes more sense than this did.
I actually already read the Wikipedia on it, and I know I'd probably like the movie a lot.
Carnage 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only because, well, quite frankly, there's a toxin tease in there, and if anybody knows me in IRL, Toxin's one of my favorite Marvel characters. And if we're going to get Toxin in the big boy movies, I'm going to be happy.
The hell is this guy?
Who the hell is who?
I'm rage Google searching some of these critics to see who the hell they are.
Ouch. You don't need to do this, Kyril.
This is the same guy. Who doesn't have a picture on their LinkedIn?
That guy?
This guy. This is the same guy. KCCI.
Two Schmoes do not condone harassing anybody over differences of opinions or anything.
No, I'm not encouraging anybody to harass anybody. Just point and laugh. Like, I just don't get it. The bar, it feels like, for who gets to be a critic on Rotten Tomatoes just seems so low.
Can we file? Okay, actually, I'm kind of curious.
We probably can. We genuinely probably could.
How
we could be approved as a critic.
How to become? Because I might just do this for my own resume, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for your interest in applying for the Tomato Meter approval. Applications will reopen March 1st, 2022. We can apply for this, dude.
Oh, yeah.
The Tomato Meter includes reviews from two different groups: individual professional film and TV critics, tomato-approved publications. We could probably be a tomato-approved publication, dude.
Yeah, YouTube is an approved place, apparently.
Dude, this is our next story arc. This is the Tomato Meter saga. Welcome. Okay. Eligibility guidelines. Individual critics. Written. Consistent review output for a minimum of 2 years. Demonstrated film, TV coverage at a publication outside of a self-published website. Oh, shit. However,
we're on Twitch and YouTube.
Oh, yeah. We're not on Twitch as much, but we are broadcast.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
A regular appearance providing reviews on a major or well-recognized local national event. Okay. Video, consistent review. Okay, this is us, technically. A minimum of 30K subscribers on a video publishing platform.
So, okay, that is, like, actually bullshit. So you can be this guy, Tomato Meter approved critic, Mr. Fudge, who has no credentials other than he is on a news channel. Or you might have to actually put in work. That is just such a low, different bar.
Podcast, consistent review output of minimum of 2 years. I think we got that. Publish at least four episodes per month. We got that. Yeah. 200 ratings on an Apple Podcast with a minimum score of 4 stars. Podcasts reaching underrepresented groups will also be considered on a case-by-case basis. We are underrepresented. Thank you very much. We're
gamers are the most oppressed group.
I was going to say intellectuals because no one bothers to think.
Seems like it.
Demonstrated social media presence and engagement with audience. Does anybody ever see my Twitter rants? Critics exclusively reviewing at a podcast should apply on behalf of the entire podcast as a publication, not individually. This
is genuinely frustrating, though.
Isn't it? This is just clout.
So if you want to be if you're part of a written publication, you need 2 million site visits over 6 months. If you're producing your content by video on YouTube, you need a minimum of 200,000 subscribers. If you're a podcaster, you have to have at least 200 ratings with a minimum score of 4 stars and have been publishing for 2 years and do at least 4 episodes per month. Yeah. Or be in any way associated with a TV or radio outlet at all.
We could have done this in
No matter
college.
what. Yeah, no, we legitimately could have.
Yeah.
Like the qualifications for broadcast is be on social media and be part of an eligible TV or radio outlet, and that's it.
Literally, our station was FCC regulated. We could have done
Yeah.
this.
Yes.
I'm sure if we asked Dane real hard, we could probably get on this.
Oh yeah.
Dude. That's
It is
hilarious.
such a double standard.
Well, you know why they do it, right? It's to make Rotten
they're-
Tomatoes look better.
Right, they're curating who they actually have applied,
Yeah.
who gets approved.
Like, dude, come on. So what I'm saying is everybody go onto our podcast reviews on iTunes or Apple Podcasts. I know we haven't published on there in a while. It's because Anchor is being a dick and won't let me upload episodes on there. But give us a 5-star review. 5 stars, minimum 5 stars. Give us 6 stars if you can. 200 times each. That way we just need someone to review us once 200 times when we win. They really don't like non-traditional media at Rotten Tomatoes.
No, they don't.
No, they don't. There's such a double standard. Ooh, what's critic submission? What's this? Oh, it's the same thing. This sucks.
Yeah.
I've been watching Squid Game.
How is it?
You know what? Pretty decent. Solid 8 out of 10.
I think it's hilarious that it's bringing the subs versus dubs discussion into like the normie space.
It's okay. If I'm going to be very honest, I think the dub is actually pretty good.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm going to say this once. And this is my definitive debate on sub versus dub. Ready?
Yeah.
I will continue watching dub for voice actors to get more work because voice actors are underappreciated in mainstream Hollywood and need all the work they can get.
Yep.
Yep. Supporting voice actors. Fight me. Because translators are going to be needed either way.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm of the opinion that you should watch whichever you prefer.
Oh, yeah. Always
Like-
watch whatever you prefer.
If the people who are making it genuinely feel like one version is the right way for it to be viewed, they won't let it be published in a wrong way.
Of course.
Like, look at something like Letters from Iwo Jima, which was very intentionally subbed because it was intended to be presented in that way. It was shot with the language presented being Japanese intentionally from the onset.
Yes.
You know, like there are places where something being one or the other makes sense. But like, let people like whatever the hell they want.
But no, they're not enjoying it in the authentic manga style. You know what? I would actually love to watch a foreign film now, once dubbed and once subtitled, so I can definitively say what the difference in the experience is like.
Mhm.
I might rewatch Squid Game with subs now.
Mm-hmm. One thing that I don't get with Squid Game is, from what I've been hearing, I don't have Netflix, so I can't and don't have any plans to watch it. But what I don't get is what makes it stand out to the degree that it is from everything else that sort of hits the same, what's the right word for it? The same kind of story and moral notes, you know? Because
Yo,
from what I've been hearing, it doesn't sound particularly novel.
Okay, that's the thing I don't fully understand. Okay, my first time seeing Squid Game was with my girlfriend,
Yeah.
and it was the kind of thing that drew my eye immediately because I will say the cinematography and the set design,
Sure.
gorgeous.
Oh yeah, it is very distinctive.
Yes, this is something with so much style.
Hmm.
It's amazing. It's honestly a more stylish Hunger Games as far as I'm concerned.
Hmm.
It's worth it just for the visuals. um, but I'm not gonna lie, I felt like I've predicted every plot line in this thing going forward.
Yeah, it just I don't know. It's like the way people are talking about it. It sounds like it's just this like revolutionary piece of media, and then
It's
I like
not.
read what happens, and it's just not. It's
What
like, yeah, okay, it might be good, and you're perfectly valid to enjoy what you want to enjoy, but like, have you seen stuff before?
I'm only halfway through, and I think I've already got the moral and theme of this, which is those with financial power over people with less financial power are unethically in power.
Right.
Which, holy shit, I've been living in the United States my whole life. I didn't know that. Is this some Noam Chomsky shit? But seriously, man, like, do you know the basic premise?
Oh yeah, no, I get the idea that it's like it sounds very like Hunger Games basically. You know, there's some sort of challenge that's going on, and the people that fail the challenge get killed.
Yeah.
Is what it sounds like.
And the
Yeah.
reason they're doing this is money. Everybody there is like
Yes.
super financially in debt.
Yep.
Yeah. And like, I like the mystery of it because like there's a whole mystery of like why are these things being put on, and you know, if you think for like 5 minutes you can probably figure out the mystery, but
Yep.
that's beside the point. Like, why would they kill the people who lose? And you want to know why? Because they take all the good organs off those bodies and make a profit off the dead bodies. Makes sense.
Is that like actually what happens,
Yeah,
or
they
is
actually
that
that's actually a thing.
okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
Yeah. Drug trade is a big deal. And if you're going to, kill people, you better make sure those organs are good.
Those poor people were hoarding those organs anyways. They don't need them all.
Oh yeah, dude. Fuck. Every time I see a kid with a good set of kidneys down the road, I'm personally offended. Like, I'll buy your kidneys, kid. $5.
Yes.
I'm kind of curious how like drug trade in the upper financial levels. I'm not drug trade. Organ trade goes.
Hmm. Oh, I mean, well, it's kind of murky, you know.
Yeah.
It's kind of an open secret of a point that the human trafficking is still a thing. You know, it of course happens, and part of that is not just you know using people for labor. It is a whole bunch of different things, that
Yeah.
included.
Yeah. See a girl down the street. Hey, girl, how's your appendix doing? Gonna give that up? So, yeah. What else is on TV right now that's really popular that we can trash on?
Says there. I've actually been watching a lot of reviews of the upcoming Battlefield game.
How was that?
It sounds not not that great. They got rid of classes.
Why?
So they've made it more like a hero shooter almost, which is really weird.
Well, it's because
It
Overwatch
just
was
doesn't
really
fit
big.
Battlefield.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it doesn't fit Battlefield at all. There's
And
been a couple of posts going around about how like visually confusing it is, because before you always have two clear sides and you get to pick which side you're on, but you could always tell what side was your side and what side was the other side. But now, because these are hero shooters, you're playing as a hero and you get the same person on each side, so you look identical, and
okay.
it's really hard to tell at a glance who is on your team and who's not on your team.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like bad game design.
Does sound like bad game design. I've kind of accepted something about video games lately,
Hmm.
and that I'm convinced that there's just in the way there are different types of people. Video games definitely marketed for different types of people. And I'm
Hmm.
convinced that the Nintendo crowd, which I fall under, is extremely segregated from the mainstream PlayStation Xbox crowd, purely
Yep.
based off high school, how your high school opinions went, how things went in high school for you. I'm convinced there's a
Could be.
divide there.
I always hold that the sort of secret thing is that everybody's a Nintendo fan.
Ooh, that could be it.
Nintendo's positioned themselves over the years to be kind of like not competing with anybody. They just kind of do their own thing.
Really, they are though. I don't know.
Yeah.
I used to say they were like for the art school kids, but I didn't want to lump out anybody who, doesn't feel like they're creative or anything like that.
Hmm. The big shift was during the Wii and Wii U era, where like M-rated games just really weren't a thing
Yeah,
for Nintendo
yeah.
consoles, and they've kind of started to turn that around to a point, but yeah, it's still not really at not nearly the same level that Xbox and PlayStation have with
No.
mature themes, I guess you could say.
Hmm. So you're
We
seeing.
did get the Switch OLED though.
Oh yeah, that did come out.
It's out.
Good job.
It seems like a perfectly fine revision.
Much success.
Yeah. It's nice that the Joy Cons are still basically. So I'll say it's nice that the Joy Cons are like backwards compatible. I guess you could say.
Yes.
Um, but after watching the video that Valve put out about the Steam Deck, it does make it kind of frustrating. Valve has got their Steam Deck coming out, which is basically like, what if the Switch ran Linux?
Yeah.
And they put out a video showing how to tear it down. And they mentioned in the video that the thumbsticks for the Steam Deck can be replaced. You just buy new
Ooh.
ones, open it up, replace just the thumbstick modules, and you're good to go. And it's easy to do compared to the Switch. Like, what does a new pair of Joy Cons cost?
About 40.
40.
I think so.
It's per Joy-Con. It's 80 for a pair.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah,
It
that
might
is.
make sense though. There's a lot of stuff in them.
I will say I'm surprised at how much technology is in a Joy-Con.
Mm-hmm. There's also a lot of not really needed stuff in them,
Mm-hmm.
but
I
it's
think
nice to have, not need to have. Apparently, you can buy Joy-Con thumbstick replacements for $15,
I've heard.
but they're not from Nintendo.
Yeah.
It's like third-party stuff.
And then you have to install them yourself, which is based off your own
Uh-huh.
competency.
Yeah. Whereas the Steam Deck is just kind of unscrew the back, and there's a cable and a couple of screws that you undo.
Yes. I'm excited for the Steam Deck. I probably won't get one
I am
yet.
too. I'm definitely in the position of waiting and see how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, there's not really any point in pre-ordering it just because you get so far at the end of the line. But I like the idea of it a lot.
I just want Nintendo to get more competition. Like,
Yeah.
I don't.
Yep.
I like that Nintendo does their own thing, but sometimes
Mm-hmm.
that can be a little detrimental because you're pretty
Mm-hmm.
much running your own game and you're running your own rules, and there's no one to compete with you against. So,
Yep.
as much as I don't like the idea of people following the crowd, I do think being chased after is a good, healthy medium.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah. In my perspective, I tend to buy a new portable console every like 3 or 4 years
Yep.
ish. And given how the Switch is positioned itself and how this deck is setting itself up to be positioned, I would no question go for the Steam Deck because the idea of like playing the mid 2000s to mid 2010s kinds of games, like Fallouts, BioShocks, and those kinds of things on the go, things that were not just PC but also had a strong console release,
Mm-hmm.
is way more appealing to me than the Nintendo exclusive possibility.
I'm just really afraid. Like, I like the Steam Deck, but I do see it becoming an emulator machine for other people as well.
Oh yeah, it absolutely will be.
Yeah. Especially if you hook up Linux and Windows to that baby.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what?
Presumably, I know it comes by default. It comes with a Linux operating system. I'm
Okay,
pretty sure they've said that you can install basically whatever you want, though, because it is just a computer.
just a really nice small computer.
Yep. There's already some, not nearly on the kind of scale that the Steam Deck will be, but there are some competitors in the space already of these sort of mostly portable emulator type boxes.
That doesn't surprise me.
No. But they haven't even come close to touching the Switch because they're not nearly as influential as, Valve. So they don't have the reach.
Yeah.
And they've all been kind of kludgy. The form factor of the Switch is a big thing that it has going for it.
Yeah, I will say
And it's going to be something that's hard for the Steam Deck to beat because it's definitely a lot bigger than a Switch.
How much bigger is it?
It's pretty big.
Oh no.
It's almost a foot long.
Oh no.
See the dimensions here. I'm looking up the Switch. So the Switch is 9.4 inches long, 4 inches high, half an inch deep. The Steam Deck is 11.7 inches wide, 4.5 inches tall, and 2 inches deep because it doesn't have the detachable Joy-Con. So it has basically the full depth of a controller integrated into it.
That makes sense.
So you basically need a dedicated carry case for it, or it's just going to be kind of clunky. And like 11.7 inches that's pretty big. It's not a small thing.
No. You could probably club someone in the back of the head with it.
Uh-huh. For sure. Oh yeah, here we go. This is a really good comparison. Somebody posted on Twitter with a Switch sitting on top of the review Steam Deck that they had sent to them.
Oh, show me. Oh, wow.
So like the screen itself is about the same size, but because you have more of a full controller integrated into it rather than just the Joy-Cons, it adds a lot of size to it.
I do see what you mean.
Yeah. It's also way more powerful though. So you're going to have more room for cooling. It's got bigger integrated storage, so, there's reasons that it is the size it is.
I do like the design. I do
Mm-hmm.
like the girthy look to it.
Mm-hmm.
That's something.
Yeah, it looks like it being thick like that. It definitely gives the appearance of being a computer more than a portable game handheld thing.
It kind of reminds me of just like a souped up gaming tablet.
Mm-hmm. It basically is.
Yeah.
They also have what do they call them? They just call them trackpads. It's the same touchpads that the Steam controllers had are
Ooh.
built into the Steam Deck, which were kind of shitty on the Steam controller, but because now you have two touchpads, one on each side, and two full regular joysticks, it sounds like it's not going to be nearly as big of a problem because you can just choose which one you want to use. And having basically like a little touchscreen is good for certain games.
I agree.
Yeah. Definitely seems very versatile.
I like that Valve is doing stuff like this. I think this is natural for them.
Yep.
Now, will it
Here's
run
another good
Half-Life
side
3?
by side. Half-Life Alex, you mean?
No, where's Half-Life 3?
I think you're looking for Half-Life Alex. This is a big picture. Why is this picture so big? GameSpot, what the fuck?
Oh, wow.
I mean, that's a good comparison, though.
Yeah.
Shows how much bigger it is compared to a Game Gear, compared to a Vita, and a Game Boy Advance.
It's truly the big boy.
It is quite thick.
With a Q.
Mm-hmm. Game Gear versus Steam Deck comparison. Oh boy. Why would somebody make this? Maybe it's just to show how far it's come.
Maybe?
It's just kind of amusing. So we have Sega Game Gear 1990, Valve Steam Deck 2021. The Game Gear has a single core 8-bit processor at 3.5 megahertz.
Okay.
The Steam Deck has a quad core 64-bit processor running at 3.5 gigahertz.
Nice.
So that is like face value 8,000 times faster than the Game Gear. The Game Gear had 24 kilobytes of RAM. The Game Gear has 16 gigabytes of RAM.
That is so wild to think.
Yeah.
I would love
It's
to.
actually technically only launching, when you account for inflation, for about $100 more than the Game Gear did.
Really?
Yeah. So the Game Gear launched at 150, which over 30 years comes out to 299 with inflation, and the Steam Deck starts at 399 for the lowest storage option, which you
Wow.
can upgrade. The storage is just on. There's an SD card slot, micro SD card slot, and it has an M.2 slot that you just put bigger storage in if you want to buy a smaller one and upgrade it later.
So what you're saying is you could take all those portables in this picture right here and fit them in the Game Gear. I'm not the Steam Deck.
Fit them how?
Like just built like all their processing power, all their bits and
Oh
bobs.
yeah, no, for sure.
That's
Yep.
amazing.
Yeah, the Steam Deck is probably more powerful than all of them combined.
Yeah.
This is a really good comparison, though, and it's going to be questionable as to whether or not this is actually the case. But because it's basically just a computer, it has a very deep library of games. So they have the Game Gear with 364 Game Gear plus 313 Master System games versus the Steam Deck, which has 15,315 out of 18,715 tested Steam games on SteamOS, the entire Steam library with Windows, other game stores, Epic, Uplay, Origin, GOG, titles from outside of online stores, as well as emulators of most other systems.
Yeah. And probably those little homebrew games you can find on the internet pretty easily too.
Oh yeah, like it has a browser. Browser games should just work.
Yeah. I cannot wait to play Grow Island on this thing. Oh wait, does
It's
it
like
support Flash?
think of all of the games that you've been like, oh man, I wish they'd just do like a remastered version to come out on the Switch.
Yeah.
Odds are it just has them in their original form that you just play.
I can. Now I just can't stop thinking about the idea of running like all those browser Flash games I would play on like the school computers as a kid, but on the go.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Stupid.
Like you totally can. It's dumb, but you totally can.
Yeah. Did you have a favorite Flash game you would play as a kid?
Uh, not really.
Really? That's
I
sad.
mean, I'm sure there was one that I played more than the others, but I didn't really have a go-to. I'd sort of bounce around between a couple.
Okay. I thought as a stupid joke once as doing a Let's Play channel for those kind of Flash games and making it seem like a big a deal.
Yep.
So, do you have anything else?
Not so much.
Yeah, it's been a slow week.
I the Facebook and Twitch stuff definitely took up like a good chunk of the week. I mean, that was like 2 or 3 days, and a lot of it ended up being kind of nothing. It
Yeah.
was just Facebook fucked up and everybody panicked, and then it was also Twitch kind of fucked up, but then it doesn't really matter. Apparently, though, I was reading that Twitch has reset everybody's Steam keys as a result of it, out of an abundance of caution.
Okay, there goes our Steam key. We gotta get a new one.
Yeah. Rip everyone's OBS.
Our OBS is doing pretty good, I think. Granted, I'm the only one that uses it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well. Okay. Are we just gonna leave it here?
I don't know. I mean, it's kind of it.
Yeah.
Did we talk about the Matrix? I think we talked about the Matrix last week.
The money? I mean
Uh,
the trailer?
Yeah,
Yeah. What do you think about them bringing back the Matrix?
I'm kind of indifferent.
Same.
It seems like the way that they're doing it makes sense, with a kind of soft reboot almost.
Mm-hmm.
I did see that Internet Historian put out a video on story mode for the Matrix, the Matrix video game that happened,
Oh no.
because apparently the video game is canon to the story of the movies, and they are respecting that
Oh
in this
no.
movie. So you have to know what happened in the video game to be able to understand some changes that have happened in the movie.
How long ago was this video game?
It's pretty old.
Oh no.
Let me pull it up here. It looked kind of like PS2 graphics, if I had to guess,
Okay.
but it's old. Enter the Matrix.
I don't think I will.
2003. PS2, GameCube, original Xbox.
Nice. The OG Xbox One.
Look at these sick graphics.
If there's not like 5 polygons sticking out, I'm gonna be disappointed.
Oh, there's 5.
Yes.
You don't get pecs like that with more than 2.
Mmm. I can count them. There's like 7 in the hair.
Yep.
Each pant wrinkle is a polygon right there. The way the clothes fold is polygons. That's good. I miss this era.
It's wild.
We really will never get an era like that again.
Probably not. Oh, I don't know, because like it was one of those things that I feel like was in a hindsight kind of thing. I feel like we'll look back at the way other aspects of gaming were, and probably look at them in the same way that textures were looked at
Maybe.
then.
I don't know. I've always wondered what the next phase in retro gaming will be.
Mm-hmm.
And I do want to believe it's going to be somehow related to 2000 era stuff. But then I think to myself, no one wants to go back to those graphics because we complain about like anything that isn't that way, you know?
Oh yeah, and like objectively, those graphics are bad.
Yeah.
Like they just are.
There's no way you can add charm to
There's
them.
there's nostalgia to them for sure, because they're definitely endemic to a time period that people look back on fondly. But objectively, compared to today, they suck. It was making do with the tools that we had, and we have better tools now.
Do we though?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I mean, you can look at any of the shit that we have. I feel like the next kind of way it's going to be is the games that are specific rather than to certain bits or processing power that was available to them. It'll be related to the engines that they were made with. Because if you look back at a lot of the big games of the periods after that, a lot of them shared engines, and those engines shared the same quirks.
Okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. You know, like 10 years from now, you can look back and be like, oh, yeah, that's definitely a Unity game kind of thing.
I can look through that right now. What are you talking about?
Oh, yeah. But people will look back at it with nostalgia in 10 years and think it's a good thing.
I fear for those people. Okay. Do we have anything else?
Nope, I'm good.
I think I'm good too. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for going on this wild ride of Bond film hating with Kyrol and I. Anything else you'd like to say to the people, Kyrol?
Nope. Nope, if I start, I won't be able to stop.
Okay. Well, I look forward to your hour-long diss track on Bond, No Time to Die. In the meantime, I'm Mr. Ryan. I'm Mr. Schmo,
I am Cairo and I've been a schmo.
and this has been the Two Schmo Show, ladies and gentlemen. OC, you need to get your stuff together for those football games.